Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, depending on the time in your area when you watch this video. Tom here, everybody. You read that title correctly. The 40th anniversary of Sesame Street. Now, I've been meaning to do a vlog about this recently, and today seems to be like the perfect time to do it. Now, Sesame Street stars Jim Henson's Muppets. And the first time that anybody ever saw Jim Henson's Muppets on television was 1969. And my favorite Muppet has always been Grover. Why? Because Grover could become Super Grover. And if you've never seen Super Grover, or Grover for that matter, you can look it up on YouTube. There's a lot of his classic episodes. And I have several memories of growing up on Sesame Street. For starters, of course, watching the TV show. I also had the Sesame Street Clubhouse, which was a place that they made, along with all the figures. But the figures weren't like today's action figures. They were figures, but you could actually put them on your finger because they had a little hole at the bottom. But the clubhouse design was beautifully done. And at one point, I believe I had Muppets of Bert and Ernie that could fit on my hand. And I even had, from my big sister, a Super Grover doll, because she knows how much I love Super Grover. And I believe she also gave me this book. Now, as you can tell, it's kind of ropey and it's a little old, but it's something from my childhood. I've been thinking about ordering a new one from Amazon. Believe it or not, I actually found one available. And so those are my memories, and there's several more memories, of course, from Jim Henson's Muppets, but today I'm talking about Sesame Street. And I'm curious, what are some of your childhood memories of Sesame Street? Now, I'm sure a lot of you probably won't even admit to watching it, but I know that down deep, your inner child has seen Sesame Street and probably loved it as much as I do. I probably loved it more than most because I even saw the movie Follow That Bird when I was in my teens. Yes, when I was in my teens. And today I still like Sesame Street as well, but I kind of like the older shows a little bit better. Maybe because I grew up on them. Oh, and also, I know a lot of people love Elmo, and I think Elmo's great. I love the new animated Elmo. I'm halfway tempted to get one myself. Yes, I admit that. But more so, I really wish they'd do animated versions of the classic characters, and especially the live-action people, especially Mr. Hooper. I mean, come on, isn't it about time Mr. Hooper had his own action figure? Seriously? And I would also like to know, what are your favorite characters? And I also want to add, I think it was Sesame Street that might have been the first ones that made friendly monsters. What I mean by that is, because today there's stuff like Monsters Incorporation, which is a great flick. I loved it. But really, I think Sesame Street is the first one that made friendly monsters. Well, like Grover here, or in this case, Super Grover. And then there was also Cookie Monster, and several others in the show as well. I hope you have enjoyed this little trip down memory lane. And now, it is time for you, my viewer, to tell me about your memories and favorite characters. Thank you for listening and watching. Please make comments down below. Over and out from your good buddy Tom. Whew! I made it without being interrupted this time. I just can't stand being interrupted.